Hey everybody.
Hey, welcome to Sketchbook live stream, the March edition. Good to be back. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good, man. This one came up fast, and I guess that's because February is a short month.
Yeah, it did. And next month's going to be pretty quick too.
Yeah.
We should just get right to it because we have an incredible artist with us tonight. I'm really pumped about the show. We have Paul Komoda with us tonight. Paul's work it's just everywhere. He can't seem to do anything wrong. He can sculpt, he can paint, he can draw. He's pretty amazing. Yeah, so we should probably jump right into it and bring Paul in and get the show started. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hey guys. It's very cool to be here. Great to meet you guys.
Thank you for coming in with us. Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul really is a Renaissance man. I feel like there's nothing you can't do. It seems like you do everything, really.
Yeah, plenty of things I can't do, but the things that I do are fun. And so it's like expand.
You know, like I was digging through, looking at your stuff. I've followed you for a long time, so I've always loved your stuff. But as I dug deeper, there's just one thing after another. You have like a pretty deep history. You've done sculpture, you've done amazing creature design for movies. You've done, I mean, it's just, I'm sure there's even more there that I haven't even tapped into. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you tonight about your
because we get into like the jewelry phase. There was the toy phase, working on action figures and things. There's a period I was doing prosthetic makeup sculpting with my friend Mike Marino. It was the one thing I kind of demanded of life is that it would be really interesting and rich with experiences and things. And so, I got that part.
Where'd you come from, man?
I was born here on the East Coast. I was apparently born in Hackensack, New Jersey. Spent the first my post-fetal years in Ridgefield, New Jersey, and then moved to East Windsor, New Jersey, which oddly enough, I'm back here right now. There's a whole story. We'll dive back around to that one because life took me all around and around the block, so to speak.
You picked a bad year to come back to the East Coast. We got so much snow this year, so.
Oh my God! For me, anyway, it was all the snow that I missed during my years in LA. I think the last time we had a major snow, kind of like deluge. Or whatever you might apply to that is back in 2018, where we had several successive blizzards, and it was pretty spectacular. And then for years afterwards, it was just cold, rain, gray, and nothing. Yeah. And now I'm getting all the missing snow with interest.
Yeah, we made up for it this year. Keeps us inside drawing, so it's kind of has a plus side.
Yes, drawing, sculpting, all things. So
being born and raised in California, I still have that fantasy of like, oh, snow's so cool. It'd be great to be like in a winter snowstorm and all that. But you're like, no.
I began to realize because I remember we had a huge snow a few weeks back, and it was so deep, and I thought I'm not going to miss this opportunity to get out and just walk around the neighborhood, get back to the local duck pond, and trudge through the freshly dropped snow.
Right.
And halfway into it, I realized, oh my God, I feel like Luke Skywalker on Hoth. It's like this thing where the snow is
that's pretty much what this year was.
Like, my legs are going numb because I wasn't wearing terribly warm clothing, and I was like, it's like fudge over this like plain of white, and I thought, you better start heading back soon. You're lose your toes if you stay out in this stuff. Glad I did it.
So, a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. We'll get to drawing soon, but what are you working on these days? Let's start with that. What are you up to?
Oh, right now I'm working on some stuff for a Japanese company called Acro, and doing some kaiju related stuff. It's something. It's actually a project I can't really reveal what it is right now, but all will be revealed eventually. It's something that a creature I wanted to do for forever, and it was a friend Dave Igo who's been working with them, and we'll get back to that. We'll dive back to that at some kind of certain point. He's been working with the same company, and he was like, "Hey, they're looking to see if you can do your version of this monster from the Godzilla series." I'm like, "Oh, I'm most interested. Tell them I'm very interested." So I've been, after approval, it's the first time I've had Toho approvals to kind of wait on, and they approved it. Okay, you go, son, go. And so I've been ZBrushing this thing for the past month or so. It's just been kind of crazy.
So when
there's constant changes.
So ZBrush, like, how long have you been using ZBrush? Because you did a lot of actual like hands-on sculpting. So I'm kind of curious if ZBrush is how different ZBrush is to the sculpting. Does it change your sculptures? Does it like? I'm curious about it.
It changes my approach in the way that there are things that I do when I'm working traditionally with just big globs of Sculpey or wet clay or what have you, that I just do automatically without thinking. And then I just see the sculpture evolve, and that's just the way I do things. And that's his style. With ZBrush, I find it's not so, that doesn't come as readily. I've got to like think about, what are those weird little things that I do without even thinking? Because now I've got to think about each weird little thing. So I've got to stand back from it, go and actually look at what I've done and say, could use a bit more weird tumorous masses of like weird little bubbly things and all that. Again, things that I usually just do automatically in clay. And here I have to sort of plot it out and say, okay, here's where I get into my style here, and bring things out a bit more in the way I would.
Is it actually faster or is it slower?
It's faster in the sense that you do get symmetry if you need it. What I'm working on right now is not symmetrical at all, so I've got to. To a large degree, it's not. So that's a bit more work. Like I'll say something like this, which was one of my first ZBrush projects. Again, this was for the line that would be called Kaiju Doom, that my friend David Igo created for his company Igo stuff, and he's working in conjunction with the Japanese company Acro that I'm doing work for now. But this was one of my first full figure sculpts in ZBrush.
Damn, that's pretty amazing.
And
I love that.
Complex that it is, the fact that I could do things symmetrically saved a lot of time, and all I had to do was skew it a little bit. So by the end of it, so on that level, it's a time saver. But there's still a lot of the thing with ZBrush that I have to watch out for is you can get obsessive as hell and keep on going and going.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, stop! What are you noodling for? And so it's like you can zoom in and you can like detail your details, so to speak. And but luckily sometimes the time constraint, you can only do so much. It's like there's these guys again, sculpted these and. Originally in ZBrush, and these are part of a larger figure. They're the tails, actually, of this lizard demon that I did for the same company and for the same project. And where is he? Here he is.
Whoa. Are you 3D printing those at home?
These are, I am way far away from knowing anything about how 3D printing works. I have a lot of friends that do it, so this was all handled through other entities far more knowledgeable than I. And so this is the first time I've built, not the first time, but it's the first time I've seen, one of the first times I've seen a model kit, a vinyl model kit based on something I designed in ZBrush. And so that's a huge kind of leveling up for me anyway. And so having built model kits all my life, this is something kind of special about it. Being able to hold these things and get that vinyl smell, which is intoxicating.
Yeah, I bet.
And being able to assemble it. And jumping back and jumping forward a bit, here's the finished figure of the one I showed previously. This is the Turtle Demon from the Kaiju Doom line. As a finished and painted figure that's being sold. And I did do the art direction for the paint for the coloration on this one. We did Photoshop paint for a screenshot of the ZBrush model. So,
that's good that they're taking your cues for that kind of stuff. That's actually kind of cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, they nailed it. I mean, that's very much what I planned. So it's
Are those available now, or are they coming out?
They have been out for a while. I don't know where things are this juncture, but yeah, for a while there you could find them at like a lot of places like the Big Bad Toy Store, and I'd see things in stores like Hobbyland in Japan, things like that. So they got around. They're also sold on the Sideshow site as well. So yeah, I think it probably still be found here and there.
Okay, I mean they're beautiful. They're
They
fantastic.
really are. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you make more. I hope there's more to that series, man.
Yeah, in fact, there's a third one that's just come out it's just called The Flying Demon, and it's the most ridiculously complex of the three so far. And it's got, like as it's stated, it's got these gigantic bat wings, and it's just covered with like little centipede legs and fangs and and claws and I remember thinking, oh my God, when I was making this thing in ZBrush, I was like, oh my God, this company's they're gonna hate me because there's gonna be so many tiny little parts for molding. And sure enough, they showed me the breakdown of this thing, and it's like it is like a what would I compare it to? It's like building an automobile or something. It's like all the.
So did they pull it off, or are they making you redesign stuff? Did they actually make you?
Oh no, I was surprised. I was surprised that I didn't get any requests to like simplify things. Remember, I mean, there are things that I had to make sure that all the rows of legs are like maybe one piece or something like that. But I think they're all separate on this one.
Wow,
it's a pretty Herculean effort they put into this thing to make it happen. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to like seeing how it looks because I don't actually own one yet, but that was like the last big thing I'm doing. So this, what I'm working on right now, right to the right of me as I'm like staring at it on my tablet. That's I got to make sure that it doesn't pick up on the camera.
we don't want to get you in trouble here today.
I know it's like whoops, not playing the A-Pump, they weren't that restrictive, but.
Oh, cool. Eli's
you know what? That's interesting. Because that's based on a sculpture I'd done, but I didn't sculpt that version. That's a
really?
large. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm credited for being the designer, and I did do that base design. I designed that. I did some redesigns on the body, but. That sculpture itself was done by someone else who.
So that's all 2D design work that somebody sculpted off of.
Yeah, it was actually based on. I don't have it on me right now, but there was a sculpture I had done. That's the sculpture that I had. Oh. That's what I did way back in 2013. I think that's
incredible. Yeah,
that's
kind of the stuff that drew me to your work. To be honest, like all the Lovecraftian Cthulhu stuff that you do.
Oh, thanks. So was it. I really loved those wings were a challenge to do, and I like how they came out. And boy, they did a great job finishing that thing.
So what year was this? Was this something you sculpted in ZBrush, or was this something you sculpted out of clay or sculpted?
That's all traditional. That's all way back in 2013. No, it was 2014. I finished that piece. And there's several others.
Early in the show, I said that, it seems to be endless. If people dig out there and find Paul's sculptures, you can't not be blown away. You got a lot of really amazing stuff, Paul.
Yeah, this is something. This is a Nyarlathotep. And again, this is one I did not sculpt. This was I designed this, and I'm trying to remember the name. And sorry if you're out there watching, but yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who sculpted this, but he did this gorgeous job. Again, one drawing. I did one drawing, and he figured out the whole thing.
Amazing.
Is there a story you have behind? I was going to ask. Do you have
I don't have an initial story. I'm working on one. Because I'd like to do some more, more official, merchandise that's just mine, and because right now,
like thematically, because they seem like all the characters live in a family. So I was wondering, like, if even just in your head while you're creating them, if there is a greater story behind.
Oh yeah, there certainly is, and in fact, all these characters tend to come together on some level, that, and what form that takes, I'm not sure, because I thought, go to LA and I'll get things going there, and then I'll work on the great big whatever's inside me will emerge, and it sort of did, but obliquely. And it was like, try to sit down and do a graphic novel or whatever else when rents due, and you got a dozen projects going. So
would you do that?
Oh, sorry.
Would you do that? A comic? Would you sit down?
I'd love to. Yeah, I think that's what it's sort of where it's all coming back to. I think because it was my initial impulse was to tell stories through drawings or however. and it just happened to be it's just other things took over. You know, there were other
Right.
things that had to be established first. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see where that goes. It's that right now the sculpting thing started, and the kaiju thing started, and all these other things are sort of happening. So that's kind of where I am right now. And
So that's the main bulk of your work is sculpting work. Do you get called on for any design
yeah,
work?
I guess at
Any
this point,
2D design?
it's mostly, I'd say it's sort of maybe half and half at this point. But I think for the
Right.
longest time, I was mostly known for being a sculptor for again collectibles. Did some work for Sideshow. Did a lot of work for these Japanese companies and things like whether it was Gecko. And that's the Gan Q from Ultraman. And yeah, that's something I did. Started it in 2015. I think that took a little while. I remember I kind of overcommitted on that one.
Right. Damn.
Yeah,
Things
you know,
cute.
stopped all those little spines, right? Thank Jesus.
I love all the eyeballs sticking out of things. Should we switch over to drawing and keep chatting?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to do my switch over.
Wish we had the former sound effect to go on right now.
Oh my!
I gotta ask you, Paul. Did you like Shin Ultraman?
Oh yeah, really dug it.
You did? Okay. 'Cause I'm not a huge. I don't know a lot about the original Ultraman, but I enjoyed it, and I think you're a fan of like the old Ultraman, right?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's that's what the stuff that imprinted on me pretty solidly as a child, and to this day, that's the stuff. It resonates in my head.
Hey, Paul, you probably want to cover up your screens.
Oh, that's right. Whoop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There we go. We didn't see that. I'm going to try a new paper tonight. Anybody that wants to, that is into all the art supply stuff. I found this Fabriano pad in Rhode Island at Blick, which was pretty cool going to a Blick store. And so I'm going to mess around with this paper tonight, see how it is.
Well, I still don't know what I'm doing today. Is that your sketchbook there, Paul?
that's a sketchbook. This is a page from the old sketchbook from Philly and New York. So there's a lot of collaging going on here. So I got a number of books here.
How many sketchbooks do you think you have?
It's beyond telling at this point because I've been getting these, and these are Strathmore recycled paper sketchbooks. Actually, is this one? It is one, and they're beautiful because the paper is very dense, and they take paint extremely well.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure I don't have any things that I shouldn't show in here yet.
And what kind of paint is it that you usually paint in? Are you like
Oh,
gouache
it's
or
a gouache and watercolors here.
Yeah.
Like here's a guy who was oops.
All the gouache people, everybody's been using gouache around me lately. And it's just, I have so much trouble with gouache. I'm envious.
Gouache is a pain, dude. But I find acrylic to be more of a pain these days, so that's why I'm using it.
I just stay away from paint. I use ink.
Oh yeah.
My buddy, the guy that tattoos me, Raptor Laser, I think he's in here tonight. He's doing some amazing stuff with gouache. Jenny did some cool stuff with gouache.
Oh yeah.
It's just not. I can't make that shit work with my head. Hey Paul, I wanted to ask you. So I read something. Your parents were artists. Is that kind of how you got
yes.
into being an
my
artist?
mother was a children's book illustrator. She's known for a book called Jelly Beans for Breakfast, which she just illustrated. She went on to write her own books too, like The Lake Ness Monster and Simon's Soup. But the one book she read, I think, and one of her books was one of the books she worked on was Read on Captain Kangaroo.
Oh no
I
kidding!
think that was in Cousins. I think it was these rabbit characters. And so I grew up in a very creative environment in that level. They were always working on things. Let's see.
Always encouraging you. That's pretty cool. I had encouragement as a young artist, young kid too. So I can't. That's good. Joe says hi, and his work masters prevent him from joining the chat. Christopher Dahl, Joe, do you know? You must know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anybody wants to draw? Anybody that wants to? Yeah, Joe's my gouache pillow. Yeah. Anybody that's drawing with us tonight, please send stuff in so we can share it at the end of the show. I think Eli will put up there it is right there. And please draw with us. That's part of the show. We love it, getting people to draw with us.
This is some 2023 sketchbook stuff.
Eric,
so what is that?
Now that Raptor Laser, while I put it up there, it said bear eating hot chocolate. In the chat, it's a nice emoji. So he looked like a crazy person, but in actuality, he had a cool little emoji.
Okay.
Nice.
He's not that crazy of a person.
I had to come to his defense.
All right.
Nice. So when you're doing that stuff, Paul, is that just all pencil, white pencil? Like what do you use when you do that kind of sketching a lot? I noticed in your sketchbooks a lot of
lots of white gouache over the pencils.
Over the pencils? Oh, yeah. Okay.
This is a lot of stuff from 2023.
Okay.
Again, just drawing faces and things. Louise Brooks looks at Bar Belgium. I sits in a Neubauten.
Wow, that's really
that's
good.
Great.
Really good structure, man. How much time do you spend in your sketchbooks? Is it something you do after work, before work, in the middle of work?
It's all the time. Usually, it depends. How much. Like sometimes I'll set myself a project. I'll say, okay, I'd love to design this creature or design this character, and I'll keep on going back to it.
Wow, those faces are amazing. Yeah.
Thanks. Winona Riders, David Cronenberg.
I was just gonna say, is that David Cronenberg?
Yeah. Here's my character Bertold. Where is he?
Yeah, I see him a lot in your stuff too.
Yeah, he's.
So what's all that? Is that all gouache? The color in that? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's good.
Yeah. There he is.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's really good.
He's a character. Again, I have to credit my friend Justin Humphreys for naming Bertold because he's a character I've had since I was a child. And started drawing him again.
Do you always work on toned paper?
Yeah, more often than not.
Do you find that having the tone makes it less scary to attack the page, or is it just you just like a middle tone since you're throwing a lot of paint and color?
In ways, it is. Yeah, it's more inviting that way.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1 second.
I definitely like working on toned paper for that reason.
I think what I wanted to do is this.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about your time with Giger.
Oh my God,
how does everybody say it? Giger or Geiger? I always say Giger. It is Giger, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember the first time I met him was in New York when he was visiting I think he was here for an Airbrush Action Award, and there were some projects he was working on as well. And so I was going to meet him at my friend Voltaire's place. He was Voltaire's interesting because he's more known for being a performer these days. And but I used to work with him as when he was doing stop motion animation. And so at the time, anyway, like he was like we both knew Giger's agent Les Barony, and so we arranged to meet at Voltaire's place. And so we all arrived there one night and we're waiting, and car drives up, and I look out, we open the door, and he goes, "Hello, I am Giger." I'm like, "Oh, hello." And it was just, and it was pretty cool because I guess we talked earlier. There are things that I'd been doing some jewelry design for a museum, working with him, and see.
What year was this?
This was oops. There's some crazy things. That was 2008. No, what was it? No, 1998.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no shit.
There we go. Yeah, I was looking a bit different at that point.
Yeah, we all looked different back then. I have my long hair photos too. So what happened? You ended up at his house at some point, spending time with him. Were you guys doing art together, or?
Yeah, I was brought there to work on some projects and things. There were some again sculptures that they wanted to do for the museum gift shop, and so I was there, and there were certain things that we could only do there because there were some references, like there. I think originally I was there to work on the Harkonnen chair. We were going to do a miniature.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and it would require these precise measurements and things to scale it down. And at the time, I remember thinking, "Oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing." You know,
right.
In regard to like, I can sculpt pretty well on my own, but this whole idea of having to like measure this, measure that, and scale that down, I was like, yeah, guys, this is just not my gig. So after some struggling, we kind of switched it over to say, okay, we'll do the Baphomet star based on the cover of the Necronomicon with Baphomet, pardon me, and keep calling it. And so we did the pendant, and I remember again working with this clay. It was a waxy clay called Castelline, and really, which really would yield some really precise details, and was really loving it. And I remember there was some bit of tension there, because I remember at the time anyway, Giger's agent was really not enthused about us doing that particular symbol, because he had this odd streak in him where he got into this thing where he's like, why are you doing that pendant? It's a devil symbol. This is not going to help Giger's image. I'm like, how well do you know your clients, sir?
Yeah.
I mean, I walked in the house and it's like Baphomets are us. Every room, it's got like an embroidered carpet or a wood carving from Indonesia or something. You know, I think they want to see this happen. You know? So it did, and it was one of the best pieces I thought I had done. I thought just jewelry wise at the time.
Right. And this is all for the museum. Where is it? It's in France or just outside of France.
Isn't it
Gruyere.
Okay.
I just know there's a tattoo convention everybody goes to and everybody visits this the bar. It's the bar museum you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's in France?
It's up. No. Is it? I don't know.
Okay.
It's near Evian where the tattoo show is. I don't think it's actually in France, but. So you worked with him, you did sculptures and stuff with him. How did you find that? Was that intimidating? Was he welcoming? Like was he like an idol of yours at that point? I mean,
absolutely.
Here's the thing.
I remember on one level, I'm talking to him like another human being, not like a fellow artist, and because I had to like put all that crazy grade school into high school kind of like, you know, oh my God. Kind of sense of profundity way back in my head, and say, hey, and just kind of like deal with them on a professional, friendly level. But the thing is about Hans-Ulrich Giger is he's the sweetest, most down to earth human being you can possibly imagine when you're talking with them and hanging out, talking about like everything from the one thing that we shared. And it is manifest in one of my more recent drawings, as a mutual fear of and horror of worms and larvae, and it's something that he described at one point that I had to know about. We were driving up to his museum. It's about a 3-hour drive. He was driving us in his car barefoot, by the way. And,
Huh.
and I was like, hey, you know, and I was like, we were both kind of like, I think we're both kind of have a horror of worms, or am I right? And he was like, oh, you too, huh? I'm like, oh God, yeah, it was like maggots and larvae and all those things are just, I'm over it to a degree. But for a while there, yeah, it was just I'd have nightmares about these things falling into
I was
piles.
gonna say, because it's in your work. That kind of stuff is definitely in your work. So I guess
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you just have to work it out of your system by drawing it. I mean,
So that was the thing. I'd love to hear what working with Del Toro was like. Well, I'll get to that. It's pretty cool. But Yeager was, but you remember, there's a story he tells, and I'm just going to be drawing worms, I suppose, or entities.
draw what you speak about.
Yeah. And the thing was, he told a story. He'd written about a story describing his horror of worms, and then he'd gone to an island or a beach resort someplace on a vacation. And while everyone he knew we were retiring to, to their hotels or whatever, he decided to go on a night dive. So went down to the shore, dove in to the waters, and was swimming in what felt like very seaweed-choked waters. There was all this stuff floating around in the water with him. And, paid it no mind until they woke up the next morning and saw crowds of people gathering on the beach, looking at certain things and pointing, and what the hell's going on there? And so they went over to a tidal pool, and what was in this tidal pool floating around in it was this horrible kind of intestinal, translucent, wormy thing that was like almost lifeless and but enormous and just kind of coiled there, and with this horrible orifice dilating at one end. And then he looked around and realized that what he thought had been seaweed that he'd been swimming in it was these horrible worm-like creatures that were floating in the water. They'd been swimming through the and so it just ruined his day. So he began seeing worms everywhere. He kept imagining they'd be in a soup maybe, and and I was asking him, says, well, what were those things? And he was like, they're terrible things. And I don't know if he actually describe what they actually were, but I'm eternally curious as to what those things would have been.
That's pretty amazing, man. That's pretty amazing. You got to spend time with him like that. Spending time with an artist like that is special.
Yeah,
it really was a dream come true in so many levels. I felt like he was like the a kind of like weird relative that was cool, and somehow I was only meeting now, it felt like that level of kinship.
That's really good.
Though I will say, working for him, on a project, he's much more of the stern father. He definitely lets you know when you're not things are going in a bad direction. He's pretty frank.
That comes out, yeah.
And that was to be expected to a large degree.
So now people want to hear about Del Toro. So you're gonna have to get into that now.
Yeah, I have yet to actually meet him, but I did get to work on Cabinet of Curiosities back in.
Yeah, I saw that today in your. I saw that you had worked on it. No, I'm gonna get out of the way. You go ahead. Let's talk about Del Toro.
Okay, yeah, but I got called in. I'd worked at Spectral Motion a couple of times. And it's always a feeling of like back in the day, I'd almost have to turn away work. I'd be committed to one project for Sideshow or whatever else, and then Spectral would call me. I'm like, oh God, sorry, I'm working on this other thing. And it was one of those cases where I think this was like kind of within after the COVID, the first year of COVID, and so we were coming out of that. And so this was the first real work that was happening, and I thought, oh, cool, something's going on there. It happened to be this Del Toro related project, Cabinet of Curiosities, and they wanted me in for some Lovecraftian thing that I'd be very suited for. And so we wound up. It was me and a crew of other people, which included it was Norman Cabrera was on it. It was
Okay.
Noah Rivers, and Noah's he's an amazing talent. He was new. He was literally just a kid, but he was doing this genius level work when he came in. There was Kevin McTurk. He's the one. He was the project. He was kind of like heading the project up, and was working with him and another artist named Akihito, who was doing, again, he's another artist. He does this brilliant sculptural work. And so we were both kind of jamming on these orange, that would be orange. There's a lot of orange in that studio. These kind of like alien tendrilled things and a melted humanoid that Peter Weller turns into. And again, it was just, we were working from these amazing designs that Guy Davis had done. And the beautiful thing about his work, it leaves a lot of room to play with. So even though there's a basic image of a melted man with tentacles on his shoulders, we had to kind of make that function as a suit and all that. And that was some of the best times I've ever had sculpting those. And we had to sculpt these extended skeletal arms with these long skeletal fingers on them, all dribbling and melty and all that. And I got to do this thing that emerges from an asteroid or this object from space in the episode. That's basically kind of like it's almost brain-like, but again, it's got the two tendrils that are sort of like flailing around, and that was really cool. I remember me and Noah were jamming on those tentacles. So we had to sculpt the outer. I had to sculpt the outer tentacle, and then they're going to be transparent. So there's had to be sort of a vertebral inner structure that we both had to jam on real quick. And
so he never came in. Del Toro never came in to.
That was the thing, because he was out in I believe in Toronto, maybe, where they're doing the actual filming. So we'd always get the notes back. It was the director was for the segment was Panos Cosmatos, who did Mandy and Beyond the Black Rainbow, and it was always a nice thing at the end of the day because they'd photograph what we were working on, send it off to production, and Kevin would come in and say, Panos and Guillermo love it, keep on going. I'm like, cool. So it was overall it was an extraordinary experience.
That's very cool.
That, and I helped out, did a little help in the segment with the giant rat, did some skin textures in the rat.
So I'm curious, was it a group of sculptors? Were you guys all together? Were you in like one little studio? Were you like what kind of experience was working on that?
Yeah, it was pretty much just like, oh, pardon me, listen here. Everyone's like, what's he doing? I said, oh, I'm seeing smudges and I'm seeing wormy things. Yeah, it's a large shop that has different, I guess there's where we were, there was a new, basically a new area that had been built for it, which I remember was ridiculously hot that summer. And then there's the studio itself, which there's a lot of fabrication going on. It's pretty where they're building costumes and things for other things. And so we were mostly in the new structure, sculpting these large pieces.
Do you like working that way? Do you like working with a group of artists, or do you like to
here's
be
the thing.
alone? Thing?
Yeah, I'd never really done that before until I got to LA, and all at once, this is going back to working on the Thing prequel in 2010, where suddenly there it was again. This is new territory for me. I was sculpting full-scale creature. Creatures based on my designs for this movie, and it was just and I wasn't sure how. I mean, I'm jumping backwards and jumping forwards a little bit, but
it's fine.
I wasn't sure how much work I'd be doing on this particular thing. I only remember I was called in. I'd been in LA for about a year, even though I'd been making visits and all that, and so I met a lot of people that were in the effects biz or who were or had some notoriety in that. And so it was trying to figure out how this came together. because I was working on a piece for Sideshow. I was working on a Jason Voorhees sculpture, and it was end of the year. I remember having to. It was like December, and I usually go back to visit my family in December. And I still had to finish the base for the Jason. I remember having to bring the whole Sculpey mass with me on the plane, finish it during the holidays, get it shipped back to LA back to Sideshow, and then as soon as I did that, I remember as soon as I got back home after I mailed the thing out, I got this call from a friend of mine, this amazing sculptor artist named Jerushel, who I'd been spending time in the studio helping out and working on things. And he basically said, Paul, I've just been in talks with Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff of ADI, and they are going to be potentially working on the prequel to John Carpenter's The Thing. And I recommended you for designer. So I'm like, holy moly. And so I got on the phone with Alec Gillis of ADI, and they said, yeah, basically what they're doing, they're bidding on the film. And what happens when a big production like that happens, big effects heavy production, what they'll do is they'll, maybe up to 3 or 4 studios will bid on the effects. They'll put their best foot forward, create drawings, create sculptures, design maquettes to submit to production and see which one the director says is that one. And so I was basically tasked with creating a handful of designs, a couple of drawings based on descriptions from the screenplay. But they needed it like right now. They needed it I think I had a few days before. They needed it before the new year, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, well,
it's holidays.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, guys, I got scribbling.
Yeah.
I remember sitting on the couch and then just scribbling away and trying to come up with something appropriate.
So here's a question: like, how old were you when the original thing came out? Was this again some kind of intimidating thing where you had to follow up on something that maybe informed your art, being able to work on?
Oh yeah, it was a big deal because that movie was a pretty big deal for me when it came out. That was oh my god,
right. All the routine stuff.
Holy shit! I was that's a good question. I'm trying to remember exactly where I was, whether I was in high school at that point, or or what year that was. But yeah, that was the year that everything came out. Every movie that influenced me and informed what the hell it is that I do now happened all at once.
I think that's 82, isn't it?
Yeah. It was a magic year where
it just seemed to be. Yeah, magic is right.
Everything that was coming out was just it would be a future classic. And
it all bombed too, right?
Isn't it the weirdest thing that a lot of the films that came out that are they're acknowledged as classics at this point were not terribly well received at the time of their release. And I remember The Thing was particularly savaged by critics. It wasn't just ignored; it was hated. I mean, I remember some of these things were really cruel. And meanwhile, I had my mind blown by those films. So
same.
But still, it was again zooming up to 2010, and not knowing. I figured, okay, well, I'll do my best work. Hopefully, it'd be nice if they got it. If the studio got the effects in this.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't a week into my return to LA. I was working on finishing this Jason piece on the Sideshow, and then I got the call, Paul, we've got the gig, and I was like, oh, can you come in this week? I'll come in this week. That's kind of how that thing started. But again, getting back to the original question, I'd never worked with a large crew on a single large creature sculpture, and I thought, what's that going to be like? But it turned out it was the best time of my life because I remember I'd met a lot of people that I'm still friends with. The crew included these amazing artists like Mikey Rotella, Casey Love, Mio Nakamura, and we were all on this one alien sculpture. What it was this was going to be the alien that piloted the spaceship from the first movie that crashes, and it was going to make an appearance in the film. and the design was incredible. It was a Jordu shell design, and the head was redesigned. I think I forget who designed that. I think this guy Farzad did the redesign of the head. But it was going to be an incredible looking thing. I remember feeling we were really playing off each other's the styles and ideas. And, oh, cool! I love what you're doing here with these patterns and things. And we followed up on that. And it was like every day we'd had to wrap it up maybe half an hour before the day ended, and we'd have to get the thing wrapped. It was water-based clay, wet clay, and we'd wrap it up in paper towels and just this entire mummification process with plastic wrap, and then repeat. Unwrap it the next day and continue.
Right.
But it was the best time of again just sharing stories. And Mikey Rotella, he had the best. He could just improvise a crazy non-existent movie trailer like out of the ether and had us rolling. I remember he was describing this ever expanding trailer narration for a film called Yeti Anal Mountain. And it's something that, and you bring it up, and you would continue, you'd add to it each time you'd recite it. So we were just rolling. So it was fantastic, and again, still it will remain one of the best times of my life. And ironically, cool, at the end of the day, that thing that we worked on was removed entirely from the film.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. It was the kind of thing that we felt so good about it, because we've got a really unique looking creature here. And then we got called in, and it was like, guys, yeah, we got some news. We got some not so great news. And the alien you worked on, it's out of the film. Yeah, it's completely gone. Out. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, the production saw it, and the suit saw it. They said, "What's this thing? Doesn't look like any other monster in the movie. It's coming out of nowhere. People are going to get confused." And so they replaced it with digital chiclets.
That's really good. I love the angles of the arms. Wow, I've never seen this. This is amazing.
Yeah. That's the one that's exploding with all the tendrils. That's one I sculpted entirely. Okay. The one to the left, I think that's Jordu Shell, and I think Clint Zaccoli did some work on that. If I'm getting any of this wrong, please someone yell at me. But yeah, those were beautiful.
Wow, that's really good.
So all of this was cut?
All of it, yeah. It was. There were going to be mummified versions of the thing, of this creature, in the ship when they enter it. That's Clint Zaccoli down there. And then one would, and that's Casey Love, I believe, or maybe that's, I'm not sure. yeah, that was all of us working on that thing. That torso was incredible.
How much of your work made it onto the screen?
I'll just say, design-wise, there are a couple of things I could point at the screen in that film and say that's pretty much what I did. There's that initial creature that appears. It's only not the initial creature, but it's the one that the woman turns into, or her entire torso turns into a huge mouth. And the character's name is Juliet, and she winds up turning into this rampaging thing. And that's pretty much what I designed. That's pretty much, I started off just sketching a few things. They said, oh, we like that direction. So went to a couple of pencil sketches and did some clay maquette stuff, and then it was put on the actual suit sculpture, which was one-to-one scale piece. And again, I did not expect I'd be doing that. I thought they were like I'd been doing, again, smaller design sculptures and drawings. And when it came time to move on to the next stage, they're like, Paul, would you like to go in the shop for some actual creature work? I'm like, yeah. So and that was our year pretty much, because we thought we'd been on it for a few months and all, but it was on and off for about a year, roughly.
Did a lot of the practical stuff get cut, or just that?
I'd say, yeah, maybe one or two shots were. That's a good question, because I remember I kept looking at stuff in the film and things. Is there anything actually sculpted that actually made it into the film at all? And it's actually the scene when the aforementioned Juliet creature gets set on fire. Oh, yep, there's that little arm that I sculpted on the back of the suit, and it's on fire. But that's kind of the way it is. And everyone was saying that. Says, yeah, the only reason they make these practical creatures anymore is just so they can either blow them up or
blow them up or
immolate them. So that's sort of what happened.
That's awesome, man. So that was a whole year, and then what'd you transition to after that? Did you try to do like more stuff for film, or did you decide I've done enough and I want to do my own thing after that? 'Cause that's a lot of work.
It was, yeah. I mean, it's the film work actually kind of like that was the one big thing that happened for a little while. I remember the 2 years afterwards, I got called in for things, and there was some film work, but it wasn't nearly what I'd been through with the thing. And at that point, I was doing more work for collectible companies, and it was also at that juncture. I mean, I guess I should jump back a little bit. For years and years, having grown up with being a big kaiju fan and all that, and growing up with Godzilla and Ultraman and all the things that were the little bit that we saw in the U.S. that made it over. And being into the toys and things and the model kits, I kept thinking, I'd love to do this kind of thing. I just don't know where the hell I'd go to get this going. And what had happened was I'd done some drawings of some Ultraman creatures done in my style. And a couple of people from Japan had seen them on Facebook or on wherever I posted them, and approached me at Monsterpalooza, this really cool convention that happens twice a year. There's Monsterpalooza, there's Son of Monsterpalooza. And they approached me and I said, hey, we'd love to see a vinyl figure of this design. Would you be into doing it? I said, hell yes, I would. So little did I know, but they kicked off an entire series of redesigns, basically, of classic Ultraman creatures. So they're looking for people to do their versions, and they're looking specifically for people in the Hollywood effects scene to do their versions of these monsters. And so there are other artists like another amazing talent is this friend of mine named David Mang, who had done a lot of film design done specifically for the movie District 9. He designed all the aliens for that, pretty much, and designed all that entire character group, the way they looked. But they got him in a couple of projects, a couple of kaiju projects, and I know George Shell did a few. And then, of course, I was doing things like the Gankyu and that eyeball monster we just seen.
Right. Do you remember who that Japanese 90s sculptor was that was kind of popular, late 90s, early 2000s, that was putting out books from Japan? It was like really weird, like hyper detailed versions of Ultraman and things like that. Do you remember that at all, Paul?
Oh my God.
What was his name?
Are we talking Nisushi? There's Nisushi Narasawa.
Okay.
Was, and then there was Takayuki Takia, or that's oh my God, do I have examples of the work?
Was it the Creature Core guy? The guy that's all near
Creature
Core book? Yeah.
And that guy was
what you're talking.
Nisushi Narasawa. Yeah, again, he's another one.
One of my favorites.
I'm really happy that I met.
Absolutely.
But
you met him?
Yeah, I met him at Comic-Con. It was my first Comic-Con. It was way back in 2000. And that's back when Future, the company that he was doing stuff for.
Yeah. Eli, try and find some of that work so people know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Look up Creature Core. I actually have the book right here. So
this is a Frankenstein girl that he designed for his own figure line, Frankensteela. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I have the Gill woman. Look at that.
Oh, excellent! Yes.
My desk. Yeah. No, we're kindred on this one.
Cool.
One of my favorites, man. He's the first one that I saw do the big bug arm. He'd have a figure and
the big asymmetrical. Yeah. Oh my God. guy was
amazing,
genius, and it's so strange. I mean, there's Mr. Ernest Borgnine. Looking for another page to start.
I love that you have a sketch of Ernest Borgnine, dude.
Yeah, I've been errant in my Borgnine sculpting. I mean, actually, I should sculpt another one. I do have I should get I did an Ernest Borgnine fridge magnet.
Really?
At a certain point. Also, to make a mad dash and bring it up again. This is not the sketchbook I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah.
It's like I always saw it around, but I never remembered the guy's name.
Yeah, and we connected on Facebook, and he was so cool and so supportive. He'd always be reposting my things and liking my things, and then I remember waking up to I forget who posted it. It might have been Katsuya Terada might have posted the news that we are very sad to inform you that our dear friend Yasushi Nirasawa is no longer with us. I'm like, no, it's like you got to be kidding me. And it was like a bad dream. It was just this can't be happening. But
he wasn't that old either, right? I mean, he was not an old man. Yeah. This stuff, I found this in a bookstore years and years ago. I don't know, long time ago. And it just like this stuff right here just blew my mind.
It was absolutely like unlike anything else I'd ever seen.
Absolutely. Me, same here. There might be some of the Ultraman stuff in here, but yeah, very cool book. I treasured this book. This book's one of my favorite things I own.
Paul, were you into like mecha stuff at all, like giant robots or anything like that, or is it just like kaiju was kind of your?
No. One moment. There, I went through a series. I seem to be returning to it.
But I absolutely love robots and mecha, almost to a fetishistic degree. And it's just that I've been away from it for so long because I was really into spaceships and things like that for a while as well. And everyone's like, "What the hell is he doing?"
It's going to show you a sketchbook. Okay, you see, I didn't realize that because everything is so creature influenced. I was curious at all,
Yeah, it's I'm sort of like getting back into it. I mean, I wrote to suddenly I realized I hadn't drawn a spaceship in fucking a decade or so, and it's something I'd really like to return to at a certain point.
I feel like it's difficult because I love mecha, I love stuff like that, but I feel like I don't want to do it because I can't do it as good as those guys. That's always.
I think that's the thing too. There's so many people that are doing absolutely. I mean, I discover like a new artist like every once in a while. I'm like, oh, here's another mecha genius. Who's this guy? And I'm like, I just can't match that. So whatever it'd have to be would just make my own style.
What do you prefer, Paul? Do you prefer drawing or sculpting, or does it not really matter? It's all part of the same.
It's all part of the same thing in a way. I find that I love the freedom that drawing gives me. I love being able to just have an idea and express it. That way, I'm not sculpting. If I'm going to sculpt, it's going to take considerable more time to get it to come to fruition. All that, but it's very schizophrenic sometimes. I've often felt that sometimes the sculptor in me hates the illustrator in me and vice versa. They're constantly at war. No, I'm the one that will assume control of your destiny. And no, don't listen to him. Because there's more storytelling, I guess, that I can get through in the drawing.
Well, the speed definitely has got to be.
I like the spontaneity. I can show you guys some more stuff here.
Well, do you sketch? Like, I don't know how to say it. Like sculpt, sketch. The best example I could think of is what Spider Zero does.
I don't do it as often as I'd like to do things more. Let's see. Because sometimes I'll get an idea and I said just for the sake of just for the sake of making it real in my head, I'll do a very quick study of something. In 3 dimensions, and just to get it.
Your faces are great. You went to school of visual arts, right?
Yeah. Studied under. That's back when I wanted to do comics, and so I was taking courses with Will Eisner and Harvey Kurtzman.
Are you serious? Oh my
Yeah,
god!
it was pretty cool. I mean, through Harvey, we got to he'd bring Robert Crumb in to speak, and that was
no kidding,
pretty amazing. And again, this will go back to the stories. I'm almost leading back to where I met Axel, because through Robert Crumb, there was a. Let me get established with the book. Burn these things.
So one other side, quick thing. Like, did you meet Bob Fingerman? Because he had some stories about being with Kurtzman at the school of visual arts. Were you
that's
with
where
him?
we met. In fact,
Okay.
we were. I was in Harvey's class, and Bob would come in to drop in and visit. And so, just through what I was doing there and the work I was doing in Will Eisner's course, it's kind of got us talking, and we've been friends ever since. And Bob spent the last number of years up in LA, actually, and so it was kind of cool after all these years, having known him in New York, to catch up with him in Los Angeles. And we were saying, how bizarre is this? I mean, the story continues, and here we are hanging out like old times, and now there are palm trees and things in the background.
Yeah. Eli has a connection to Bob as well. So.
Oh, cool.
He's publishing some of Bob's work.
I just texted him and told him to check out the stream.
Oh, excellent.
Cool. So what stopped with the pursuit of comics? Did you go to school, kind of do it a little bit, and you're like, that's not for me, or?
Oh no, I think it was just at the time anyway. I think I was. Well, this gets into a whole other area too, but I was suddenly very interested in pursuing sculpture, and that's something that kind of came to fruition, came to some sort of fruition, or a mutant fruition, in my 4th year there, where the illustration class I was taking, my friend Curtis Woodbridge was teaching a fantasy illustration class, and we were both really into yokai and Japanese creatures and ghosts and things. And so he actually let me, for a final project, sculpt a creature called a sagari, which is a hanging horse head yokai, which has got a human arm protruding from the center of its head. It's got a tapered fetal-like body with a long tail, and this horrible goiter-like tumorous mass coming out of its throat. And there's a giant human eye, a vertical human eye in the actual in the arm. So that's sort of where things. And I kept thinking, okay, I'll start off with a sculpture, and that'll eventually dial back into doing the comics and things like that. I'm just exploring a different aspect of things. And the thing is, it just kept on going into a certain direction, and before I knew it, wow, I'm in a completely different space than I thought I'd be. So yeah, we'll see where things go. Because I've got a lot of ideas.
Well, I like that you just follow what you want to do. It almost seems like, oh, I want to do this, and you just go off in that direction. You don't question it. You do. I mean, do you feel like it's a better way to express yourself, or you just want to challenge yourself and try everything, or is it even not as thought out as that?
Yeah, it was sort of like, it was half of it sort of intuitive, half of it sort of like just life being a strange journey that suddenly an opportunity opens up. Oh, cool! I'll pursue this for a little while, or this is. It seemed like for a while there mostly on the East Coast, that I'd be working on a different kind of project. Every few months, I could go from I'm designing miniatures for a game for Wizards of the Coast, and now suddenly I'm designing things for special makeup effects for a film, and now I'm sculpting makeup prosthetics for a film, and this is all stuff that I'd never really done before at all. So it's always a bit of a learning curve.
Hey, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
Paul.
a question. Cool.
Has Paul ever worked with Steve Wang? Seems like they have some stylistic compatibility. Steve Wang.
Yeah, I'm friends with Steve. In fact,
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah. Though ironically, I've never really worked with him. Well, jumping back a little bit more, I got into guinea pigs, owning guinea pigs in LA through a friend of mine who I adopted her guinea pig when she moved to New Zealand, and it just started this whole thing where I began collecting guinea pigs every few years because it's just like one would have its run its course, and I'd have a tearful goodbye, and maybe a year would pass and there's another guinea pig. But what it was is I'd become good friends with my friend Mio Nakamura, who I worked with in the thing, and she was very familiar with my guinea pigs, and it was one of those things where whenever I'd have to go back to the East Coast to visit the family, she was the one person I could trust because she had a rabbit. And I was like, cool. Yeah, if you could look after the little guy while I'm gone. And what happened, that became a tradition. So whenever I would give her a call, and she'd take care of the guinea pig. And the thing is, her and Steve, they hooked up. And what happened was then eventually it would be Steve and Mio would be taking care of my guinea pigs every year. And so I'm like, how weird is this? Here's someone who was, a big artistic hero to me.
Right.
And now here, when we're just casually hanging out, and I go, oh, hey, could you look after my guinea pigs?
So you've never worked together, but they take care of your guinea pigs.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
So
Yeah,
who knows? I mean, the future is still open. So
that's
pretty
pretty
kept
cool.
saying, eventually I'll make my way back to LA in some form. But I thought there was something kind of nice about that, because I'll have to introduce you to Mr. E, to Mr. Einstein, the latest guinea pig here. He's
Yeah, we gotta meet Mr. E, man.
Yeah, he's a sweetie. He's just the latest little guy.
I said earlier today we got to have a guest pet page for.
Absolutely.
We'll have to get some pet photos. Get John's cat.
I'm just happy she's not bothering me right now, man. She was biting my leg earlier. I mean, I guess for future reference, when you see the show and you see me and I'm like leaning down and I'm not looking at the camera and all, it's because my cat's literally like biting my leg, like wanting attention.
Right.
Yeah, like anytime I get on any kind of voice call or anything, that's when my cat wants to hang out. And then when I want to hang out, they want nothing to do with me.
Yeah, that's the way they do. I had a cat when I used to do turtle comics that when I first moved down to Northampton, that would lay under the light and, to warm up. So the page I'd be working on would be pushing closer to me to the point where I'm like half off the table so the cat could lay under my drawing light. I forgave her.
Paul, what kind of thought process goes through your mind? Because like what I like about your work is your creatures are just unique. Like the structure and all of it behind it, it's very creative. And is it just something that you put a line down and you move on from there, or do you research a lot of photos, or
a bit of both.
shows?
I think what happened was there was I think all of us as artists, we've got some amorphous mass of imaginative goo in our brains that it just demands expression. It's wanting to find its way out through our work. And it becomes sort of obsessive. Like, why do these forms appeal to me? Or why does this, why do things tend in a certain direction or a certain feeling? Whether it's so disturbing or beautiful or what have you. Why is there a certain aesthetic kind of like, kind of pressures in our head that need to be expressed all the time. And so there's that part, I think, that there's this initial impulse to do this, to express this thing, but then there's also a part of my brain that's always saying, I want to find a more articulate way of presenting this and fleshing it out. So that's where a lot of reference comes in, a lot of like studying different kinds of animals, or whether it's deep sea creatures, or even things like human deformities can be very inspiring too. And saying, oh my God, I never imagined that would look like that. But there's something, when you look at something, you get a very visceral reaction to what you're saying.
Right.
Is it tied into like your own nightmares and things that you are scared of? Like, are they expressive?
Very much so. Getting back to where things started, and according to my parents, and because I was obviously very oblivious to this kind of thing when I was very young, I was told that I had constant nightmares and constant screaming, wailing nightmares that would be consistent almost, and they'd rush in, wake me up, and Paul, what's going on? And I'd wake up and have no memory of what I just experienced. So there's something in there, because it definitely, I was safe for a little while. Things were fine for a little while, until a certain age. And then I began getting the worst night terrors and the worst, oh God, it would just be pure fear. And in the dark. And I was in grade school, I think. And my brother Dan, we slept in the same room. He was right across from me. He could just put his head in the pillow. He could go right to sleep and not be bothered. I was up the entire night, just in a state of pure mortal terror.
Oh man.
And it wasn't anything I could point at and say this is horrible. It wasn't anything horrific. It's not this. There wasn't a monster in the closet. There wasn't something under the bed. All the horrors and all the terrible feelings all came from inside of me. And it was something like, it's my body. There's something in my body that's not right. There's something alive inside me that probably shouldn't be there. And suddenly you feel like it's making itself aware. I remember getting back to the Giger thing with the worm phobia and fears and nightmares. This is something that, again, a pivotal moment in my life, I suppose. My dad, in the name of personal hygiene, when I was a small child, said, Paul, if you don't wash your hands, you're going to get a tapeworm. I'm like, what's a tapeworm? And so he brought out this big green book on zoology, and turned it to this page of this horrible coiled thing. It looked like it was like this vertebral, spiral. And so, well, that's a tapeworm. And here's what happens to you. What happens is, this thing, the eggs of the tapeworm will get into your body, okay? And these things will, one will hatch out, and it will grow and grow and grow until it coils around the inside of your rib cage, and it will stick its head into your throat. So whenever you try to eat food, the worm will eat it first. The worm will eat all the food you're trying to eat. And the bottom line is the worm gets bigger and bigger, and you start withering away until you're just this horrible skin wrapped around this giant worm. And I was like, oh, okay.
You're describing Alien in a lot of ways here.
This was years before Alien too, so when that happened.
I know. I'm just come full circle to working with.
So what happened was this, and for I think for weeks and weeks I thought I just kind of put it in the back of my head and said, okay, I guess I'm gonna wash my hands. And then I'll never forget, one morning I woke up really early, and the blue light of the sun of the morning sun was coming through the window shades and all that, and barely lit the room. And I sat there in bed, and I felt something moving inside my throat. I was like, oh, to the point where it was like this pressure on the inside, kind of something kind of twisting around, and I freaked the hell out. I remember just in this cold sweat in bed, and I'm trying to build up the courage to get out and tell my parents what was going on, and just feeling this, there's no question. There's something inside of me. I remember just like finally getting up, scampering into my parents' room, going to my dad and shaking his arm, going, I got one. It's like, it was a Paul, you got a Japanese accent. Oh, well, Paul, what? He's like, I got a taper on this. I can feel it in my throat. And he was like, no, Paul, no, go to bed. You don't have a tapeworm.
Like, leave me alone.
Why did I tell him that? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, my mom used to it didn't scare me, but that's similar to, I mean, not similar, but she used to tell me a story of like she always gave us like kingfish, and then she only bought the ones that were fat because they had fish eggs in it. So like when we were kids, she'd feed us the ones with the fish eggs in it. And then I remember, I don't know, asking about what happened to the fish eggs. She goes like, you eat them, they go in your stomach, and then they hatch, and then you have like, fish. And then she goes, and then the fish live in there, and that's where they're going. I'm like, okay. But it didn't freak me out for some reason. Thank God. I mean, I didn't want to be freaked out by that. So, but it just reminded me of that story.
Oh man. I don't think my mom never told me anything weird like that. So kind of jealous a little bit.
Oh, I don't know. Hopefully you weren't eating fish eggs as a little kid.
Yeah, I
you want to talk about Axel a little bit, Paul?
Yeah,
about your time with Axel, because we touched on that last episode. Simon and I had visited.
That's right.
Axel.
That was so cool that I hadn't known. I seem to recall. I mean, someone told me. I guess it came third hand or something like that somehow Axel had met you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess. Oh, the last part with the tapeworm, by the way, was like kind of where my worm horror began. So that also makes it something bigger thing.
Right.
But Axel was someone that I'd met at the Psychedelic Solution Gallery one night, completely unexpected. I had no idea who he was. I was still in SVA. This was my fourth year. And I went with my childhood friend, Mark Sunshine, to a Victor Moscoso show, which was pretty cool. I was a big fan of the Zap comic artist and all that. I thought it was just going to be pretty cool. And as soon as you walked up, you got to walk up the stairs, and we get into the gallery on the second floor. And Mark's like, "But dude, Paul, did you see that guy's rings? Holy shit!" And I was like, "Oh, what are these wings you speak of?" And I looked over and I saw again, there's this guy, looks like a wizard, and he's got these handfuls of these things that look like, oh my god, there's eyeballs, there's skulls, there's beetle jaws, there are bird skulls. And it looks like, I remember my first impression was, oh my God, it's like the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal, but completely, you know, this reconfigured into this bizarre kind of like fashion. And I was like, oh my, and again, at the time, I had no idea that I was actually going to, well, what happened was, it's like, you know, just making the rounds in the gallery and just running into people, meeting people. And I ran into Axel's friends, Adam Alexander and Leslie Sternberg. And I forget how the conversation started. I was showing them my work, and I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, we have to introduce you to Axel. He's a very good friend of ours. You probably saw him with the jewelry and all that. But yeah, I think you guys have very similar sensibilities. You might have a lot to talk about." And so I was introduced to Axel, and I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Yeah, oh, it's just great. You know, I'm looking for an apprentice, you know. I mean, if you're ever in town, look me up. So, so he gave me a flyer. It was like a Xerox out of the High Times article that he was in. And so in the back of my head, I'm thinking, oh my God. And then I think it was like, a month because the Christmas vacation, the thing had come up. And then the New Year started. So I gotta like get in touch with this guy somehow. And so I just remember it was one day after school or work or whatever. And I said, okay, I gave him a call and went down to visit him. And it was just quite a day. I remember just, again, this is my first time I'm really meeting an artist. Again, I'd never known of this guy before until I met him at the show.
Right.
And pardon me, everyone's like, "What is he doing?" So I was kind of nervous, but also it kind of felt like, it's how do I get into this part too? It was also a period where I was really starting to experiment with psychedelics, and I was really into psilocybin mushrooms. And something about that, what that had set me on, in my imagination, I think it felt like when I saw his work, I thought this is some kind of strange, kind of fate or something like that. All the things that I'd seen while under the influence of psilocybin, which was very biomorphic, very biological. Again, lots of things with bird beaks and eyeballs, and a lot of the stuff that Axel was actually manifesting in his work. Those were things that I was seeing, and I was actually kind of like perceiving them in my own work at the time too. So I thought, seems like a calling in a sense. And so, yeah, and I remember getting over to his place, and again, not knowing how he did the stuff, and seeing tables. It is a huge table that was covered with all the wax castings of things that he had done. There were things like seashells and beetle, and again the bird skulls and things, but they were all cast in this colorful wax, different colors. And so I had the sense it was like this ultimate kind of like play set in a weird way. But it kind of reminded me of, I don't know if anyone remembers the Strange Change machine. It was these little cubes that you'd have to put into a little heat chamber. They'd unfold into like a crab or a dinosaur. Kind of reminded me. It was like that and creepy crawlers in a sense. Yeah, the thing maker, and it was all again colorful little bits of crabs and things like that, and sea urchins, and they, basically what he'd do, he'd cast these things in wax, and then he'd kind of fuse them together to form those rings, to create the prototypes of the rings and all that. And I remember the first thing he asked, which was kind of funny because just to kind of give me an introduction to, I was like, "Hey, do you get high?" I'm like, sure." So he hands me a joint, and I take.
I do now.
No, I took a strong inhale, and suddenly I realized all the crazy nervousness and all that kind of like, what the hell am I doing? All came back at me all at once, and I was just like, and it completely clammed up, and I couldn't talk, and I was just kind of staring at all the wax, all the colorful waxes, and trying to form words, and all that. So it was a little awkward at first meeting, but still, it kind of. Touched off it started a friendship, and then I wound up kind of like, apprenticeship's kind of a loose term for how it worked out. Basically, I just help him out in a couple of things. I'd sculpt the things that he was himself. Like, he was very good at like appropriating nature and making that work and bending that to his imagination. But he needed someone that could sculpt anatomy or creatures or anything anatomical or biological that he couldn't just.
Where were you in your like sculpting career at this point? Was this something you were already doing, or is this like when you were forming like your sculpture?
Yeah, I was just starting.
Art?
Yeah, I think that was when
You were just
I mentioned that yokai I had done that course in. That was the first thing I had sculpted in many, many years. So that was the thing I showed him, basically. That was kind of what gave him the idea that I could be doing this kind of thing. So oddly enough, I remember the thing that I sculpted, and it appears that I felt that I sculpted the most initially were a lot of like erect male genitalia for sculptors and things. So I was like, yeah, I got this like, just for example, it's like this Mickey Mouse, but he really needs a big veiny erection on it. Could you do that? I know you're good at that kind of thing. I'm like, one big veiny erection right up. So I got a reputation for doing this kind of thing. That's pretty good. See, every once in a while, you need some big pendulous boobs on something, and so you got it, or some. I remember sculpting miniature nudes for him too. There's some rings he'd done that have like women on them, kind of stretched across them, or kind of like intertwined with the details, and that's stuff that I did. So I helped out doing little skulls and biological details for his work for a while.
As a young artist, did you feel it was helpful to have a apprenticeship like that?
At the time, it really was, because I think what it was, was feeling a little lost in the fact that I had sort of like set out to do one thing, and it was a kind of a combination of, again, getting my mind blown open with psychedelics and finding and for all the good experiences I had, getting very disillusioned with art school. And I was still looking for some kind of guidance or some kind of validation or something I could identify with, and to meet someone who had similar sensibilities where I could kind of make sense of what this crazy thing I launched myself into. That. So it made perfect sense at the time.
The psychedelic solution crowd was very much an extension of the underground comic crowd, as I remember. I went there a few times with Mark Bodie and got to see some old underground comic art, got to see really cool rock posters, but it was kind of like an extension of that world, which was cool for me because I was so into Greg Irons. I was so into, obviously Richard Corbin. And so all this stuff that I missed the boat on. I'd never, and then I got to go there and see stuff like that and see Axel and see, So, so that must have been pretty informative for you too.
It certainly was, because again, I got to meet the whole cast of characters down there too. There's which is, as of last December of 2024, I remember just getting some word that some of the last people that I knew from that entire scene, that almost everyone from that entire chapter of my life, a good deal of them are gone now, which is a fairly unfortunate reality I had to face. And so many people I had known. And again, this includes people like Giger, it includes people like Les Barony and everyone from that side of things. And I don't know if I want to go here yet, but I remember Axel's when he died. It was under very strange circumstances, which we're not entirely sure of what actually happened yet.
Did you meet his bird?
Oh, sorry, the bird.
The bird, the white cockatoo.
The bird. Oh my God, yeah, the white. He had two birds. I mean, the first bird he had was oh my God, that's right. I go back to the first visit because he had this cockatoo named Cockatootie. And I remember going over there and being slightly stoned and hey, Cockatootie. And then I think the first thing we did was go out to a pet store to get bird food for his birds. And then later he got Cockatootie fell ill, or mentally ill anyway, and began plucking himself to the point where,
that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So he was really weird looking. Yeah, he was like picked all his feathers. He picked all.
Oh my God! Yeah, he looked like it was basically his entire body, wherever he could reach was bare. So
my memory of that bird was I used to wear like bracelets and shit, and that bird was obsessed with it. So it kept coming at me and trying to land and sit on me, but then it would bite my wrist. It kept trying to bite the bracelets, but pinching my wrist. That bird drove me crazy. I was. I had. What can I say?
I had certain thoughts
overlap
about that bird, but it would always be a case of trying to be cool, and whenever I visited and then trying to shoo the bird away because it was always trying to eat whenever I was trying to show Axel. I'd be working on a ring prototype, and this thing would be jumping on my wrist and trying to eat it. And there were points when I'd be holding because the prototypes were made of polymer clay and what have you, and it wouldn't take more than a simple snap to ruin the whole thing. And so I was like, put the bird away, Axel, please put the bird away for a second. But he had two birds. He had Guffy. Guffy came next, and Guffy was the bird he had till the day he died, pretty much, I think.
Okay. Hey, is Psychedelic Solution still there?
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't really been down
wondering about that. Yeah, I've been wondering
Just did
about
some
that.
search and looks like it closed in 95.
Yeah, okay.
86 to 95.
I got to see Robert Williams originals in that place. There was a lot of stuff that they had kind of behind the scenes that they broke out that was pretty cool too. Seeing stuff like that was really, really cool.
Was that in Manhattan?
I don't remember. There was a time when I would go to New York with my friend Mark Bodie, and he would just drag me around. So
that's okay.
Looks like it was in Greenwich Village.
yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, it was on 8th Street, I think.
I would ask Paul, like this, like you have published sketchbooks. There's like a kind of like a big sketchbook.
Yeah, there is one
that happened years ago. How involved in that were you as far as like putting that together? Did somebody just license your stuff, or how involved were you?
It was through a friend, Lee Moyer, who we've been planning to do this for years, really, and it was through a Kickstarter that he created that we got the book funded, and it was just a matter of like getting all the files of work to him. I remember there was a certain point that him and his partner came down, and they lived in Portland, and I think I'd given them every single piece of like actual physical media, drawing wise, that I had, whether it was sketchbooks, my entire flat file, I think went.
Wow, that's pretty brave.
So they pretty much scanned everything.
All right.
Because the initial idea was to publish the sketchbook, my New York sketchbook that I was also like did some Philadelphia work in, as it was. But turned out that there was a lot more that went into it, and a lot more included stuff from the 90s, some really early work. Some things have kind of like, really, you're putting that in, okay. But
Is this the thing that you had the art show for? Is this the same book?
There was an art show based loosely around some early work too. That was an interesting experience. Let's just say that. But
I mean, it looked fantastic. I was looking.
Yeah, no,
at
it was a great turnout.
Yeah. Was it in LA, that show?
Yes, in fact, it was. Where was it? I forget the exact town that was in.
Okay, because I saw somebody I knew in one of the photos. I was like, "That's got to be LA, man."
Okay, cool.
Is the sketchbook still available? Is it?
It might be. It's because it was. As myself, I only have the copy that I've got, and
it looks like it was a very, very well done collection of your work. I'm kind of curious about it personally, but other people might too. Yeah, there it is.
Available.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Then it's definitely, because I know they bought a lot of them.
How much control over the design and elements did you have? I mean, is just somebody take it and run with it, or did you have a say in a bunch of the stuff?
Pretty much. I mean, I was. They were sending me stuff and saying, "How's this?" And at the time, all I could say was like, I trust your judgment.
Right.
And I thought the cover looks fantastic. I think.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That is, yeah.
It's so much a real sketchbook too. That's what I love about all the stuff I've seen about this book. Is it really? I mean, everything's there. It's not. It's got there's so many pieces of, development going on in all those pages. It's beautiful.
Oh my god! I remember drawing that Moloch lizard over at this one studio in New York. We had some downtime. I was like, I just want to draw that lizard.
Yeah.
Do you feel the need to do you always work in the sketchbook, or do you feel the need sometimes to make large pieces or move outside of it and just work on some pages?
I've been trying to move out. I mean, I love it, but I also would like to do larger pieces for like a potential gallery show, say. Drawing the Agony Man. I'll show you some stuff later. He's this character.
Oh yeah, Agony Man. So I want to hear about Agony Man. That keeps popping up in all the stuff I look up about you.
Oh my
Where'd
God.
Agony
Yeah,
Man come from?
he's just this apparition that appeared. Again, a lot of strange things were happening that one year back in 1987. That's the same year I first met Axel. I was still in art school, and it just seemed to be an interesting time for these images to start to kind of come together in my head. And the Agony Man was definitely something that that's right. That's my first sculpture I'd done in a long time. Before that yokai creature was actually an Agony Man. And
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and
it's so striking. It's really got a lot of power in that drawing and everything about it.
It really, I remember I had an idea that at least it worked for me, because I thought there's something very haunted and disturbing about it, and almost laboriously hideous. But when I took it out to show people, it just got this reaction, a very visceral reaction from people. I thought, oh my God, I guess I feel like I'm onto something. I'm not sure what that might be, but it's definitely getting the response that I on one level didn't expect, but was very pleased to see that it was making some kind of imprint in people's brains.
So what's next for you other than the sculpture stuff? Do you have any plans to publish any sketchbooks? Have you any Kickstarter ideas in your head that you might want to do with your work?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that were there's a project that me and my friend Travis Louie have been talking about for a while that would possibly involve imaginative sea creatures, but it's something we're still discussing. When it's just a matter of when we'll be able to get to this. And that's one. Right. There's lots of things like again. I guess for me, a lot of the things that I'd like to do is just getting all this disparate stuff, all this world, whatever I've created with these characters and things, and put it into a cohesive, make a cohesive kind of like presentation of the stuff. In
like a comic form, or
yeah,
just like a
comic form. Yeah, could I think a lot of what I've been discussing with friends is like maybe that's where it's all coming back. What it's all coming back to. It's all really about storytelling, even if it's bizarre, dream-like storytelling. Since I'm a big David Lynch fan and just a fan of dream logic in general.
Yeah, so, I think we need more of that kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because some of my biggest influences are people like David Lynch, William Burroughs, and that kind of just strange. Again, it's just dream logic where things are constantly changing and you're constantly shifting realities.
It kind of overlaps with you, John, right? I mean, you have that same kind of stuff a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I love just stuff that's instinctual and Burroughs and things like that. Stuff that's I just feel like there's too much people are too. It's just everything's too literal all the time. There's nothing wrong with like things being weird and
I think especially these days, things have to be so overthought in a sense in regards to the world building and that can be nice on some levels, but at a certain point, I would like a little mystery. I would like things to be a bit more of a journey that you're taking with this whatever world's being presented within.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't feel like everything needs to be explained, and it's funny. Like even I've been involved in like a few creative processes for like movies, and so much effort is spent on like backstory and why is he doing this and why is he doing that and like everything needs to be explained and like this isn't even going on the movie screen or anything. But I'm just like. Can we get away from logic and just have them do something because it came to mind? And maybe
I think that Hollywood is like taught everybody to want a nice finalized explained package. Everybody, even when there's like this ambiguous thing going on in any kind of media, people immediately, instead of trying to decide for themselves, they seek on the internet to figure out, what is this about? What should I be thinking about this? And that's really not you know.
Oh,
there's
I
other
know.
ways to get
Like,
there.
there's numberless YouTube videos like this thing explained. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I actually get a little thrilled now when like I have my own interpretation for something, and when I find out later or read somewhere or YouTube video whatever, find out I'm totally wrong in my interpretation.
Like, whoa,
But
no.
like it's not even close. But
Yeah.
I enjoy my own interpretation better. So like that's the
Exactly.
thing I
Nice.
like.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Oscar movies this year, and it's interesting. It's I don't know. I just feel like everything's so literal, and it'd be nice to have something not make sense.
Get back to that.
Yeah.
So,
But who's gonna take the torch from like somebody like David Lynch? Is there
that was the
anybody
thing. It was, it was one of the reasons, one of the motivating factors why I left LA in 24. And I thought, I was like, oh God, that's a sign. It's, because I always said like all of a sudden, and my Los Angeles years were some of the best years of my life so far. Absolutely. Until they weren't. I think the last 2 years were a little nightmarish, and I thought, this is just masochism for the sake of it. I'm just trying to make this work. So I wanted to continue what I'd set out to do, but I just realized there's just no way it's going to happen the way things were.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably good. I mean, did it feel good to like have that change? I mean, you're going to Jersey. You can't get any more like opposite of LA than going to Jersey, right?
Yeah, I just needed to bleed out the poison for a while. It's exactly how I felt. Like after I'd been here a year, I thought, oh boy. Yeah, for all the good times, there's that sense of like I felt like I was becoming a person I didn't like. I'll just say that. It's like part of me would not have respected this person or what it was turning into. So I thought I'd better unplug from that before it becomes a more permanent terminal kind of thing.
Well, it's good you recognize that.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing for a lot of people to realize.
It is, yeah. Luckily, I had a lot of support from people who were friends of mine who were very, I had friends that said, "Hey, you should probably speak to this person. He's a good person to talk to in regards to where you're at this point." So that was a big help. It helped me, kind of solidify things in my head and think clearer. Finally see, there is a way up. There's a way out.
That's good to hear.
That's good. You're back in hometown, right? You're in the hometown area, so
yeah, East Windsor, New Jersey. It's and I guess you mentioned it earlier, but it was always that existential horror, that dread of going back to that place. Oh no. But it's so changed at this point. It's a completely different vibe that I'd slowly seen evolve over the period. Whenever I'd be visiting every year, incrementally. And now there's things like just not too far away from where I grew up. This area, this farmland, basically, where we used to drive past it to go to the mall every time. There is now the largest Hindu temple apparently in the world, and you can see this thing over the trees. These golden spires are coming up, and you can't believe that it exists that close. It's like a strange dream. Oh yeah, I dreamt that I just went on a ride and I saw this giant Hindu temple. And we visited the place, and it is magnificent. It is worlds within worlds. I mean, all that amazing sculpture of all the deities and things, and all that just really absolutely mind-boggling.
Why is it there? I'm curious. Why? What? Where did it?
That's the thing. I'm like, when? How?
Yeah.
How did this thing just kind of pop up here in a sense? And and there's some documentation of how they had to like ship this much like material over to to build this thing and all that. But it literally came out of nowhere. I mean, we have a very large Indian population here in East Windsor. So there's something kind of exhilarating about that. There's something kind of, again, like I say, it feels very dreamlike in the sense of the town's been transformed over the years into something.
Right.
Do you find
Much
yourself
better
going
than
back to
going
New
back.
York?
Oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
as in permanently, like moving back there?
No, like since you're so close, just like going back, since it was such a big part of your earlier life.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
back
yeah.
in
I
New
definitely
York?
I haven't been back nearly as much as I'd like to have, because there's still lots of friends out there that I haven't seen yet, and I miss it. I mean, obviously, the town that I lived in the years that I spent in New York, that's not really there anymore. All the cafes and restaurants, I know I can see what I'm doing. They're all gone.
That's cool. So what's that? Ballpoint pen over pencil? Just kind of grabbing something and going.
Yeah, yeah. Just it's a
Yeah,
uni ball.
I like that. It's funny how the show goes. You spend so much time drawing and talking and listening. I never actually watch people work all that much.
No.
But it's the one thing I hope that I would do a lot, but I never actually do it.
It's for the people watching the show.
Yeah.
I'm still
Anybody
like-
drawing?
Yeah, I hope somebody's drawing.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, what am I going to draw? I'll just draw. I'll draw that.
We're that interesting. They're so involved.
So yeah, so how did you guys get started with what you guys were doing? And like, what was the spark that led to where you are now? Like the first inkling of like, okay, this is something I really love to do. Because we all started off as I guess we're kids, we're drawing what kids draw. And then at a certain point, there's something that clicks in our head. It says, oh no, there's something stranger and more intriguing squirming around in our brains that needs to get out.
Go ahead, Eric.
I'm just going to repeat every time I talk about this, but it's pretty much for me. It was, I found Frazetta, and I think Frazetta was the first emotional art experience I ever had. And then as I got older, it was Richard Corbin, Mobius, things like that. I found heavy metal pretty early. And one of the first issues when it came out, I got a hold of that thing when I was a little too young for it. And
yeah, I'm gonna say same here.
Yeah, it had everything in it though. It had Mobius, it had Corbin, it had had Arzak, it had Bodhi. That led me to where I ended up. And it was like an emotional thing. That was the first art. I don't know. That's the best way I can put it is had like an emotional effect on me. So unlike anything I had experienced before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I come from Saturday morning cartoons. That's where this all started.
That's I can relate to that too.
Especially with the reason why I asked about the mechas is especially because of the Japanese stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I was real big into I like Manzinger. I liked Robotech, and then I was huge and still am. I think my favorite is still Star Blazers because it's just everything about that.
Yeah, huge. In fact, I've been getting back into that again. This sensibility of the spaceship design and all that, but I was obsessed with that show, for the longest time because it was. Again, it kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't aware of it at the time, and I remember I began watching a few episodes and oh my god, this is really involving. This is intense stuff.
Yeah, it's very different. It set the template for everything, and it's kind of the design I think is beautiful. I still think the Cosmo Tiger, the Comet Empire version of that starfighter, I think is one of the best designed starships I've ever seen still to this day, So I don't know, that's what started it, and then I moved along, and then comics came in at some point, and then I saw the work of Baron Story, and I realized, oh wait, there's something more to art, and then I discovered like Egon Schiele, Francis Bacon, and then I don't know. I didn't want to leave my roots, but I also felt like there's more than just monsters fighting and all that stuff,
I think it's what happened to all of us. It's a period where we explore whatever's out there, But then this is where we do return to what initially gave us that inspiration.
Right.
And then actually, that reminds me though, you mentioned your disillusionment with art school, which I can relate to. And I was wondering, what was your disillusion? Because I mean, SVA, that's a fantastic school. You can't go to a more Especially back then. You can't go to a more fantastic school than that. And then you have like Kurtzman there, Crumbs dropping by.
Yeah,
whatever.
that part was amazing too. I think for me, I think there were so many other things I wanted to learn that wasn't really there at the school at the time. Like I wanted to learn how to sculpt. I wanted to learn how to like make castings and things like that too. And then I was like, geez, all those things that I really would love to, pick up. I'm really not finding here. So there's this. That's a kind of got me kind of wandering around, and so that's when. When I met Axel, I was like, oh, here's someone that's doing the things that I'm interested in doing. So, so that happened at the right time. That was pretty much the heart of it. I think it was just that there's this urge to do other things. And
did you feel restricted stylistically by the school? Were they trying to steer you in a certain direction to get a certain job or whatever?
Say that, no, I don't think there was ever a point when everyone said, no, don't do that. So somehow I don't think that was the issue. But I guess I could also say, yeah, there are a couple of other things as my life is going in different directions at that point again too. Talking about psychedelics, and suddenly there's this whole new perspective in my head that kind of brought me out of this small kind of caged feeling that you have when you're growing up in New Jersey, and there's also there are possibilities to explore suddenly, and so I guess my head was sort of searching, looking for. I kept thinking it's got to be out there someplace. There's got to be something I can find that that feels like a genuine kind of like this is what I need. This is the person I need to meet. This is the work I should be learning about. And so so that's kind of what I felt when I ran into Axel in that group.
I think you got to be ready to there's certain aspects of like learning about art, learning about where you're going to be as an artist. You got to be ready for it too. It can come when you're not really prepared for it. So maybe art school was one of those situations where were you in a different headspace, it would have been more effective. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay,
this paper is pretty good. This paper is cheap and I'm loving it. So just want to put that
that's great.
Yeah. What was the paper again?
It's this Fabriano.
Oh, Fabriano's good. Yeah.
But this whole book of 30 pages was like $17. And I bought like a bunch of arches that was a lot more expensive, but this paper is really holding up. So
nice.
Digging it.
Love it.
Plug. We'll get sponsored.
Fabriano.
Yeah.
All right, we can take a moment to look at some of the art that's been sent in.
We're almost at 9 o'clock. Wow.
Yeah. So fast. Let's take a look here.
What we got tonight. Hey, now I know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Matt Driscoll there.
That's by tattoo artist. Man, that's cool. He's doing a lot of dinosaur paintings that are kind of been inspired by our show, John. He's been really, really artistically inspired by what we're doing. So
that's great.
That feels really good.
And then we got this one is by John Burkett.
Wow.
You
Let's
might
see.
know
Ooh.
from Feral
Those are
Star, from
Very
Cosmic
cool forms there. Oh, love it.
That's super cool.
Yeah, those are great.
Definitely some Paul Komoda Mobian type of shape.
Abstractness.
Exactly. Really cool, John. And just an aside, Feral Star is available from Cosmic Lion Productions.
Good job,
All right, and this is by Mark Utenberger. This is entitled "The Thing That Should Not Be."
Oh, sweet.
I love it.
That's excellent.
That's actually terrifying, man.
Yeah, right.
That big foot is
Oh man, that's excellent. Well done, man. That's excellent.
That's creepy, man.
Really good. And next one is by my friend Ryan Doherty. He needs 5 more minutes, but he's not getting it. This is a watercolor critic. Kaiju. He said, Sorry, Rye. This is what you're gonna see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I
Oh, that's good.
love
Yes, man. He's
You can send it in later. That's
That's
cool.
some good
though.
stuff, dude.
That's
Oh,
excellent.
that's magnificent.
And this is my piece. I got inspired a little bit. It's a little crabby, a little mutant. I don't know.
Oh,
Nice
God.
one.
Kind of
Good job, Eli.
blue crab head with the shell. I don't know.
Dude, when's your book coming out, man?
Oh
Yeah.
man. Sometime soon, I hope.
Yeah, you got to at least name this guy.
Oh, you know what? I named him Krabby Patty, Paddy.
See, that's a hit book right there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Irish crab mutant enforcer, and he had a hell of a St. Patrick's Day last night. And he's a little hungry.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Love
He ate acid and wanted to. He looked for a art gallery, and there just wasn't one.
it.
Not. He's like, I thought this was here. Anyway,
Yeah.
Sweet.
You're gonna hit a certain age where, like, St. Patty's Day, you don't even know what's happening, man.
no, that's
You're
what
like,
happened
what?
this year. I didn't do anything. I went to a jazz show, the opposite of. All right,
Nice,
sweet.
dude. Love that.
We have 5 minutes left. Hey, do you want to pop up our next guest? Announce our next awesome artist guest?
Yes.
There he is.
Do that. We're all gonna be all about bunnies.
Yeah. Brian Despain is going to be with us April 9th, I think it is. I don't know. We'll be posting after the show. But
Oh, love it.
yeah, look at that stuff. This is going to be such a cool show.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Brian?
maybe he'll paint. That would be cool if he paints.
I'm hoping Brian will paint, because I spoke to him a little bit about painting, and he's got a method. He's got a method. From what I remember, he actually paints digitally first, and
Right.
then for his nose works, and then he will replicate them in oil for the final piece. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody do that. And the crazy
Wow.
thing about it is the oil is pretty right on with it. And I think it'll be interesting to hear. I'm going to see if I could talk him into painting. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But Brian's been around for a while, and he's just a cool dude.
It's beautiful stuff, man. I love that. What else we got? John and I are both going to be at C2E2, so if anybody's there, you should come visit us. We'll be sitting together, right? Yeah, we got tables
Sitting
together. so-
I think we'll have
Yeah.
Jesse Hernandez in our row. And then
Sweet.
we got
Sean
Cosmic
Crystal.
Lion. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got Cosmic Lion and WonderCon, right, Eli?
That's right. Absolutely.
And then Paul,
be
what do
the-
you have coming up?
Got something coming up on May 30th, 31st. I'm going to be at Kaiju Brooklyn. And this will be cool. And again, it'll be the first time I'm kind of like diving back into the convention thing in a little while. So looking forward to see what this turns into.
I'm going to look at my schedule. I might try to come down and visit you. That whole show looks pretty cool.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to get out. I'm not, because I'm in Massachusetts, so I'm not too far. I could come out and try to visit you.
Yeah, let me know, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And you have a Patreon. I wanted to put that up. You want to promote your Patreon?
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
there. Yeah, just join. Yeah, for any price you'd like to contribute. And,
Yeah.
trying to turn it into something. It's been out for a little while, and I'm finally getting back onto it in earnest. You know that, but I'd like to create more exclusive content, like live videos and things like that.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
so-
this is inspire you to do some live stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
go support Paul. Go check out his stuff. Anybody that's in Brooklyn, go check out the show in May. Oh yeah, I got my book out now too. It just came out today officially on the website.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I did Inktober this year, and I actually got through the whole month, and I did drawings every single day. So I figured maybe I'd put a book out with the sketches. So
Sweet.
Beautiful.
yeah, I'll have those in Chicago if anybody comes to visit.
Cool. And then Paul, let's see your drawing. Let's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's see what I
see what you
actually
got. Yeah.
gotten into. A couple of pages back, because I was literally just drawing over old drawings and things. But it was this. It's probably going to become something further. But again, it's a little raw. But it's it's the start of an Agony Man something, and he'll be with tendrils growing from him in some spectral manner.
That's so good. I love that thing. It's so disturbing, but it also it's endearing in some weird way. All the Agony Man stuff. I don't know why, but it's just like grief. it's
yeah, I'm working on a new sculpture of him too. Actually, yeah, if we could maybe jump back to the normal camera for a second, I can show you a couple of guys that I'm working on at this point.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out. I see a little Ultraman there.
Oh yeah, there's but this is an older sculpture that my brother was holding on to the entire time I was in LA, but I've been.
Is that the original sculpture?
No, this is something I started back in New York back in 2004, actually, and I sort of abandoned it because I didn't think he was looking agonized enough. But I went back and I saw what was wrong with it, and I began working a lot of the lighter stuff. That's new material that I was adding onto it. So that's one.
So that's how old, and you're going back on it now? That's from years
ago?
Yeah,
that's 2004 is when I abandoned it, and I said, "Kurt, hold on to this, please." So he's had it, and he needs to give it back to me last December. And also, as soon as I got back here, I've been working on this new. I decided to have an Agony Man in the room. So I want to get this complete as soon as I can after I finish this other project and get some castings of them done.
That's great.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Someone asked, "Is that Sculpey? Is that Sculpey that you're using?"
That's Super Sculpey. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something you might cast and put out there, or is it just for you?
No, I'd like to have enough to put up for sale.
Right.
Oh wow. Okay.
I could use an Agony Man.
Well, so I should introduce you guys to my little guy over here. His name's Einstein.
Oh yeah. Let's meet Einstein.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's, look at this little guy. Sorry. Hey, Squeaky. Hey, poopy little man. Uh-oh. But
Wait, is he in a cage or no?
Yeah, I got him in a large cage over the side there. But
okay.
Look at that guy.
Yeah. Had him since the summer.
I love their feet. I love the little feet. Yeah. I think we talked off camera.
Or the little like little hands. So he's just a sweet little guy.
Company. Yeah.
I didn't know you could hold them and they just kind of hang around like that. I thought they'd run off like a hamster,
No, they're
cool.
very chill. Yeah. I used to have one. I would walk through into the kitchen and it would just follow me around the house. It was my daughter's, but it bonded to me. It would just follow me everywhere I went. Yeah.
That's like you.
Really? They follow you?
Oh yeah, there's so much more to them than you realize.
Okay.
I didn't expect it
at all. Yeah, they have a lot of personality, these guys.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they want to be with you. They follow you around, try to. Yeah, they're pretty amazing, and they bite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
they nibble, but
that's cool. He might need a little friend soon, right?
I was looking at some cuties over at the local pet store. I thought, so yeah, he might be surprised one day.
Sweet.
Nice.
And I think somebody's pointing out you have a Michael Wayland print behind you. Is that right?
Do I? No. Oh, that's right. That's a big H.P. Lovecraft art book that I contributed. Work to. And it's huge. I mean, you can't really get a sense of the scale of it, but yeah, I remember getting my copy of it, and it's this giant box appeared in front of my door still living in Philly. I'm like, oh wow, this is prodigious. But it's an amazing book. It basically documents all the artwork pertaining to H.P. Lovecraft's fiction from the start up till whenever it was published at the time.
That stuff definitely grabbed me. All his black and white with the red. If you could see it in my art now, but that stuff was so. It was such. I love that stuff when I saw it. It might have introduced me to Lovecraft, to be honest. I might, because I didn't really start reading Lovecraft till later, and it might have been those books and that art that brought me to Lovecraft. But I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, are you still doing? Was it Lovecraft? What's that Lovecraft convention? I'm forgetting in Portland.
I know there's Cthulhu Con. That's one I went to. It's been a long time since I've been to that one.
Okay, I was wondering if you're still doing those.
Yeah, there's one on this coast that I know they've been trying to get me out to. I just haven't had. It's like scheduled.
In Providence.
Yeah.
It's like the Necronomicon. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother does it. In fact, he's been doing the Lovecraft circuit recently because he's an incredible illustrator and he's done lots of Lovecraft related artwork. And he does a lot of RPG work too. So he's been doing the game convention circuit as well as the Lovecraft conventions.
Oh, and, cool! Like Wizards.
Yeah, I think so. He's. Oh, what the hell's going on? My damn phone.
What was that?
Oh, I thought that was the guinea pig. Was like.
Oh no! It's I set my phone to make a different sound whenever it comes up. And,
I thought Eli did
it. So what the hell is that? So. But yeah. Kurt's someone you should probably talk to at some point too. He's on Instagram as well. And,
you guys could both come back on with us.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, hopefully with a better camera set of myself, so I'm not like trying to do a juggling after I'm trying to draw. But so thanks so much for inviting me on here. This was a fantastic time.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, thanks for having us. Or
great show.
Thanks for coming on. Sorry. No, thanks for coming on. You're a great guest, and the stories were fantastic, man.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, plenty more. So.
Cool.
All right, so I guess we're out. Thanks everybody for joining in. Thanks Einstein for joining us.
Thanks everybody.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for everyone.
Say bye to Einstein and Paul, and
for watching me.
We'll be back next month.
All right, we'll see you next month, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.